Hello, Council Road, and welcome to week 22 of our Bible reading plan. Our reading this week is the book of Jonah, the first three chapters of Hosea, Amos 1:1 and chapter 9, and Joel 1-3. Our memory verses this week are Psalm 16:11 and John 11:25 and 26. My name is Jordan Lovick, and I'm the production director here at the church, and I'm so grateful that I was asked to come and share with you all this week. The story that we'll be focusing on this week is the book of Jonah. This is a story that I've absolutely loved growing up since I've seen it on VeggieTales. And as I've grown, I've just come to have an even greater appreciation for it. It's kind of transformed in the sense that as I grow older, the more mistakes I make, the moments of disobedience that I've had to God, I've seen myself in Jonah. And that can be really disheartening, but I think this book also really shows God's goodness in our disobedience. God is always good, whether we're obedient, whether we're disobedient, and nothing we can do will change his love for us. And we see that in Jonah's case, as he is disobedient to go to Nineveh and share with them the word of the Lord. And we see that as he's thrown into the ocean, we see God sends this great fish to come and sweep him up. And when I was little, that could be seen as a great punishment of like, oh man, God threw this guy in a whale. But as I look at it now, it's so evident that God is saving Jonah. Even in his disobedience, he's saving him for something later. We also see God's love for the city of Nineveh and their disobedience. We see how adamant God is to send Jonah over there and share his word to reveal him to them. It's just so evident how much he loves us, even whenever we make our mistakes. And something else that really is highlighted in this book, I think, is the Lord's sovereignty. The Lord is mighty to save, as you can see in this. Even Jonah's disobedience can't stop that. We see that God even works through Jonah's disobedience on this boat. It starts out with the ship crew. It says, each cried out to his God. But by the time Jonah's thrown overboard, it says, then the men feared the Lord exceedingly, and they offered a sacrifice to the Lord and made vows. Through Jonah's disobedience and through this tempest that God has placed these shipmen in, he's revealed himself to them. And so it just goes to show that God can work even in our disobedience. Now, of course, we want to obey. Of course, we want to do the Lord's will because we see the great things that he has for us and for others. And I think Jonah struggled with that a little bit. And I think God reveals that to him by the end of the story. But it just goes to show that even our mistakes will not stop the Lord. Jonah even says it in chapter 2, verse 9. It says, salvation belongs to the Lord. And that's just very encouraging for me, because I think it's really easy to think, oh man, my mistakes are holding up God. My mistakes are stopping the Lord from the plans he has for both me and for other people. But we see that God cannot be stopped, and we need to lower ourselves and realize that God has accounted for our mistakes. And people as lowly as us, the creation, cannot stop the works of the Creator. I pray this encourages you, and I pray that God blesses you in your reading this week.